Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to the Iron Game at the Rogue Invitational, the Tailgate Show 2025 here in Scotland. Look at this couch right here. We need a smaller one for you too.
There is a smaller couch. Could we find a smaller? I don't know if you could find a smaller couch.
We've got Jerry Pritchett over here joining me. My name is Zack Telander. I'm your host, and of course, Hafthor Bjornsson over here. Does he need any other introduction? How you doing, bro?
You know what? I'm doing okay. Thank you for asking. Obviously, a bit devastated that I had to pull out from Rogue Invitationals, but I was able to come here and still participate in deadlift, which made it, not as bad, if that makes sense. Obviously pulling out was not a good decision for me.
Yeah.
It was a tough decision because I was in a good shape, felt good, and it's an injury where I'm not in a whole lot of pain, but I just can't press.
Right.
So knowing that I was going to come into this show with two events where I would potentially probably zero, it just makes no sense for me to participate, and I would have most likely caused the injury to be even worse. I have a 50% tear in one of my rotator cuffs, and if I would have obviously competed,
you would have zeroed.
Just made it worse. Made it worse,
Or you would have just not done the movement, right? You would have zeroed out.
Right. Then I'm a competitive guy. When I compete, I want to compete to win.
Yeah. So we have some stuff here that we're gonna get into. We have some Scottish stuff here. Can I interest you in some single malt Scotch whiskey?
Ooh. You know what? I don't really drink.
Okay, that's okay.
But I have a man here that might want to take this shot for me. That's my father. He loves some.
Where is he?
Some whiskey.
Dad?
Where did Pops go? Yeah, I think Dad was somewhere here. But
this is the question that I've been wanting to ask this entire time. If you're Hafthor, what the hell does full Thor look like? Because you're good. Or wait, is Thor? Are we talking the god, the actual Thor? Is that what you're named after?
We could say that. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so
that sounds cool.
The Thor. Okay, well, I'm gonna have a little bit. Jerry, can I interest you?
I'm good.
This is Aaron. Single malt. There we go. We got it on that camera right there. Single malt.
Nice.
We need to get Dad in here. I don't know where he went off to, but
walked off.
And then, what do we have here? We've got some shortbread, some fudge, and then I don't know what that. Yeah, this is a tea cake, tonic tea cake.
That's in the foil.
Yeah. You guys want to dive into one of those?
Happy to try it.
Yeah, come on, get in there.
What should we try first?
Let's try the fudge first.
Usually strongmen don't turn down snacks.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, well, I'm gonna cheers with you guys on that. Here we go.
Cheers. All right, gentlemen. Cheers.
Stay in the States. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
That was pretty good.
Oh, wow. That one's stronger, bro. Okay. Scotch whiskey.
That's stronger than yesterday.
Goes down like flames.
Nice. Like a little bit of racing gasoline.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Well, Thor, I want to talk deadlift with you. The world record at 510.
Yeah, I pulled 505, and then I pulled 510. A month later, right? Yeah, a month later.
What, is 515 on them coming up, or what?
I am, yeah, potentially next year, 515, 520, yeah.
So it's not, you weren't just going to Thanos it and sit back and ride off into the sunset and just let it be. You want to go after 515.
If my body's healthy and if there's anyone out there that wants to throw up some nice cash for me, sure, why not?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm trying to build my future here, so why not?
What I love about your career is that you are an entertainer. And what I feel, I come from an Olympic weightlifting background, and the entertainment aspect of it was kind of lost as it just got synthesized into being this really, serious Olympic sport. But Strongman has always been this like entertainment thing. It's like it's a little bit of a circus act type of thing. And what I've loved about your career, playing the Mountain on Game of Thrones, like going out and doing things for the entertainment. And what you're able to do is mix in the highest performance possible. And I can't commend you enough on that. I think it's incredible.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a nice journey. I started competing back in 2009, and you know, I've just looking at my career and thinking back, it's been one hell of a journey, fun journey. I've had a lot of fun, met some amazing people along the way, and made some great friendships. But it's a sad feeling thinking about the fact that, you know, I might not have much longer. Maybe a year or two, we'll see. So yeah.
Would like acting or going back into being a mountain type character, would that be something you're interested in? I feel like it might take less of a toll on your body, or.
Absolutely. I am, you know, acting more. I just finished filming Master of the Universe.
Oh wow.
I played the character called the Goat Man. So that's going to come out in cinema next summer. I'm super excited to talk about that. And I'm definitely have my eyes open. I'm doing more acting as of today, and I'm ready to dive more into that when my career starts to fade away.
Yeah.
But we've got your man here.
Oh yeah, let's go. Come on,
here.
Dad. Finally, someone to drink with, and we're gonna do. I love this tattoo, by the way. It says "Don't weaken." I don't know. I just.
Famous John Paul Sigmarsson quote.
Is that the?
Yeah, that's where it comes from. Yeah.
What do we say in Iceland?
Skál.
Skál.
Scouts. Is that like your salute? Kind of.
Skál. Like
Yeah. Oh.
He finished his. I can't. I'm sorry.
More, please.
He's just handed me the bottle.
How was it? Very good, very good. Okay.
Okay, so wait, Father Bjorn.
Yes.
There we go. Look at that. I know my. Right, Bjornsson.
Yes. Correct.
Yes. Let's
You
go.
know it.
Come on.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
good. Yeah. So don't weaken John Paul Sigmarsson. Sigmundsson. Sorry.
Terry Todd,
Terry Todd. Okay.
who started doing Arnold Classic back in Columbus, he used to say this quote a lot, and,
Yeah.
and obviously have another quote on my leg here that says, "There's no reason to be alive if you can't do deadlift." That's
what I'm talking about. That
Yeah.
there is no reason to live if you can't. Right.
There's no reason to be alive if you can't do deadlift.
There we go. Okay. And that's why you wanted to at least be here and touch that.
Yeah,
Right?
you know what Kate and Bill are doing here is it's unique, and they're bringing back history to life basically, and I wanted to come here, and I could not. I was very happy. That's why I was probably a little bit happy to be able to come here to at least participate in the deadlift, since they brought the wheels back into this show, the wheels that John Paul used,
Yes.
Jeff Capes, and Bill Kastner back in the 80s. So I was honored, you know. I wanted to honor his name as much as I could to come here and do the deadlift. I wanted that record. Sadly, it didn't go my way, but you know, who knows? Now they have the wheels. Now they have this built, and maybe they have it again next year.
Next year. Yeah. We'll
That
see it
is
next
something-
year. Yeah.
Jerry, that I love about Strongman is constant homages to the history of it. You know.
Yeah, well, especially with Rogue. Rogue really takes a lot of pride in that, and like Hafthor was just saying, you know, when they've kind of refurbished and resurrected these wheels, you know, from back at Pure Strength. They were in a castle over here in '87 that John Paul and Kaz battled out on a deadlift with, you know, and they were lucky that, you know, Gregor Edmonds had got a hold of these wheels and kind of stuck them away and preserved them, and then they were able to get them and you know, completely rebuild them and make them what they are now. And they'll keep them. They'll be beautiful. They'll sit in their showroom over there in Columbus until, you know, if we use them with the Arnold or here again or wherever. And they'll be lifted. Hafthor will lift them within the next year. He'll set the record on them.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will. You know, he's had, you know, a very impressive run with his deadlift this year, and it starts taking a toll after a while, you know.
Yeah, I have two questions about this. Do you think it makes a difference if you had like figure eight straps for the deadlift for this, or no?
Not really.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say that.
I don't think grip was your issue.
No,
yeah.
grip was my issue. You want me to be completely transparent? You know, when you have an injury, I got this injury 2 weeks ago, and when you have an injury like this, something nag you, and you know in your mind, I can't do the whole show. Automatically, your motivation and drive to eat, sleep, and train is going to go down a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit depressed with the fact that I can't compete in the whole show, so that's going to suffer my performance. Yesterday, my performance suffered because of my depression of being injured.
Yeah.
And just having not as high of a motivation. I've injured myself before, and it takes a toll.
Yeah, and it's like you need everything.
Everything.
Yeah,
Well,
and even if it's
such a
shoulder.
mental drain, you know, like Hafthor was saying, you know, you put so much into these contests and this is your life, and when everything's going and you're grinding and everything's going well and you get, you know, something like that, a little injury that, you know, even though it's not, you know, huge, but it ruined his plan for here, you know, and it just, mentally, it drains you. It's like letting air out of a balloon. You know, you feel like you're top of the world, and then even though it's just a little nick, but you feel like I'm depleted now, you know, and it's tough, you know, because a lot of this, even, you know, as much as physical, there's a huge mental aspect to this.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
your mind
everything.
has to be turned on to do this stuff, you know, especially to pull 1,100 pounds, a big weight, your mind has to be turned on for that.
So I want to go back to the deadlift, the 510 deadlift, because the main question I have, did you dial in your training knowing that you're kind of only focusing on the deadlift? Were you like, I don't have to do this, I don't have to do that, my training is here, and that allows me to be very specific about it? Like, what did you do in preparation to make that deadlift happen?
Well, I'd already been in a long prep for 505, obviously, so my shape was good.
Okay.
So
then leading up to the 505, what was the prep for that?
the prep was good. The conditions at the show weren't the best when I pulled 505. It was done after midnight.
My God.
It was outside. It was cold.
Platform wasn't flat from what I heard.
Platform wasn't the best. So all like these small details play a massive fact into your performance. A man is usually at his strongest around 5-6 p.m. I usually train at 10 or 1 p.m. So I know I'm going to be stronger when I compete. Usually we compete like during the day. That's just how the human body works. We're usually stronger as the days goes on. But like after midnight, you should be bad. You know, that's like I'm in bad by that time.
You're sleeping.
Your body's shutting down at that point.
Yeah. So I knew.
You knew you had it.
I knew I had more in me after pulling 505, considering everything that wasn't necessarily perfect. And then when I had that perfection at my next show, when it was done at a good time, good platform, inside in a big arena with massive crowds, I knew it was going to be a light work for me.
So then that show, the one where you did 505, did you do any other? Were there other events during that one?
No, so I simply just focused on 505.
So so the training leading up to that 505, did you narrow everything down? Did you?
To be honest with you, I did train other things because I was also in preparation for other shows.
Okay.
I was doing, in between pulling 505, I did Iceland's band back in Iceland, and then I did obviously 510 with a whole competition, which I won, by the way, in Birmingham. So I was training other events as well. But I was still focusing mainly on the deadlift, but I was also training other events. If that makes sense.
That was one of the, obviously besides the 510, but the other most impressive thing is you did the whole show. People counted you out of the whole show. That, he's just going to go after the record and maybe get to the show, but you kicked ass through the whole show.
Yeah, I wanted to make a statement.
A big statement.
Big statement, I wanted to because the thing is, there's been a big drama for years now when I pulled 501 during COVID back home in Iceland. There was a big drama behind that lift in particular, and I hated that. And I wanted to prove people wrong. Like how the hell can you people doubt me?
Yeah.
You look at my fucking career. Look at what I've done.
Yeah.
There's no way that I'm faking anything. I'm a strong man. Like I'm strong. Like come on. Like it just pissed me off. It just pissed me off. When people were doubting me, it just pissed me off.
So, I've got so many questions about that over the years because I did a similar thing with Wuss. I did the 880 deadlift for reps.
Yeah.
And so back during COVID, all our shows got shut down. So the organization was going on at the time was come up with this online where you would do it in your gym. It was very complicated and strict because you had to film everything, you had to weigh everything. Rogue sent me a complete calibrated set to do it, and it took a lot of time. But in the end of the day, so you're doing a competition in your gym with the guys you train with, like 8, 10 people, you know. It's not an arena like this with people screaming for you. So the motivation's not the same at all, you know, and you've got to like go full-on game mode here, you know, and you're like in my case, I was competing against a guy other side of the world, and I was Rhino from Estonia, and you know, so you don't know, I don't know what he's doing, you know, I got to just max out a rep. So like they talk about Hafthor's, you know, about oh, you know, he had an unfair advantage, he was in the gym. Like it was much harder, I guarantee you, to pull that in his gym in front of his just buddies basically. You know, because everything was weighed on camera and everything. Then to do it in front of a crowd of 10,000 people screaming your name, you know. Well, the motivation there, you pull anything there.
Yeah. Let's call it like it is. I mean, it was Eddie did the 500, right? And it was the biggest deal ever. And that
was impressive.
Yes,
yeah,
and
impressive.
then Thor does 501, and everyone goes, yeah, but Eddie did it in competition, and you know, it was in over COVID and all this stuff. And so then you had to come back after everyone said that wasn't real and say, oh, really? It wasn't real. Here's 505. Here's 510. And then maybe 515. Am I right?
515.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe 520. We'll see.
Keep doubting this man, dude.
Keep doubting me. I'll prove you guys wrong.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. I love it. I love that it wasn't. Yeah, you one upped Eddie, but then now it's 5 up. Now it's 10 up, and it's like, okay, well, it's no longer an argument really anymore, which is
well,
good.
You know, another thing about Hafthor, we started at the Arnold about the same time, I believe. My first year was 13. I think you were 12 or 13 was your first year. 12. You think you were just a year before me started.
Yeah.
And when Hafthor, first early years, like he got beat up a lot because his static strength wasn't at Z and Brian's level and that, you know. And then towards, you know, the end of that reign, he was, you know, one of the top deadlifters and top, you know, log pressers there. You know, he really brought his static strength up. But you got beat up a lot of time that, oh, you're only going to be good at World's Strongest Man. You're not going to be good at the heavy static stuff.
Absolutely. You know, I had a lot of doubters in my corner. You know, not believing in my capability in winning big shows like Arnold Summer Classic, which I won actually 3 times. But there's a man that started that show, Terry Todd. He was one of the few people that actually believed in me,
right,
and gave me an opportunity back in 2012 to compete at the Arnold Summer Classic. Even though I placed second a year later at the amateur show, usually the winner of that show gets an invitation, but that year in particular, the winner, I believe, got injured, so I was the next guy up to get an invitation. I got it, and I was able to prove the people wrong. But it took me a long time. Believe it or not, my first Arnold Summer Classic show, I placed dead last.
Yeah, I think people forget that even sports at the highest level, guys can improve.
Yeah.
It's not like you just get to become a professional and wherever you're at is where you're at. It's like, okay, we'll give Thor 10 years to work on his deadlift and was it like kind of overhead pressing and deadlift, all the static stuff, like
heavy static stuff,
where you were weaker.
All static stuff was my weakness.
Yeah.
Moving events, throwing events was my strength. Stones and so on was my strength. But like deadlift, overhead presses, squat, the static power was my weakness.
And now it's it's not only your strength, but it's the strength on the planet. I mean, so there's do you know Dmitry Klokov, the Olympic weightlifter? He had a story like this. He was known to be weak at pressing overhead, and he was just a gangly kid growing up, this very skinny kid, and he became like that was his thing. The push press and the strict press became his thing. Like, and they also in the Olympic weightlifting community, that was like, oh, he's the guy who can do that stuff now. So it's a very similar process to you where it's like, yeah, that's your weakness, and you turned it into your life. You know, the deadlift is part of your life. And
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. You know, sometimes when people doubt you and just negativity in general can motivate you to the point where you will prove them wrong.
And not only you prove them wrong, you'll prove them dead wrong.
Right. And I've liked to use negativity, and yeah, with me. You know, I've like to I use it as a fuel, and I don't think it's a bad thing if you use it right. You know, we all have the more success anyone has in life, doesn't matter who you are, the more haters you're gonna have. Look at guys like LeBron James, one of the best NBA players ever. The guy gets so much hate, but
Yeah.
he's the GOAT.
You know, Michael Jordan had the same thing. You know that
Yeah.
meme, the meme of him saying, "And I took that personally."
Yeah, he took it personally.
Yeah, he created enemies.
Yeah.
So there was a Puerto Rican point guard who was very good, and they were on the Dream Team, the Team USA Dream Team. You remember that?
Yeah.
And Michael was like, he thought that guy was talking shit, right? And then he scored like 65 points in that game, and he's like, "Don't you ever talk shit," you know? And the Puerto Rican guy's like, "Okay." He has no idea what he's talking about. Like, he had he wasn't talking shit.
So good.
And he would create those versions of people hating him over and over and over again. And it seems like that's the move to, you know, it might be stressful, but
if you can use it
yeah.
in your if you can use it for you, then it's a good way.
yeah. So what did it mean to you to be able to kind of break your record again? Like to be like, this is my record, and to then be like, okay, this is my record again after that, and do that over and over again. Does it feel different rather than taking it from somebody else?
Not really. I'm just on my own journey. You know? I'm just slowly but surely building my legacy, my own legacy, and I have other records that I have my eye on and vision on before I retire.
What records?
Well, you know, I love Tom Stockman. He's a great guy. But there's a lot of debate of who's the king of the stones. I think Tom is great. But
you're the king of the stones, is what you're saying?
well, you know, he has, to be fair, he has the heaviest stone lifted by a human, which is 286 kilograms. He's lifted that stones. But I also have many world records with different stones, with medleys and so on, with natural stones, atlas stones. I would like to maybe, if I get the opportunity, to break that record.
Okay.
To reclaim the king of the stones, without a doubt.
Is this the first time you're saying this?
Yeah, I think it's the first time I'm saying it.
Okay. All right.
Big
Here we
statement.
go.
Yeah.
But
Write
you know,
that down,
no hate,
everybody.
No hate to Tom. I
No.
like Tom. Tom is a great guy. But I like records.
Jerry-
I've broken over 129 records in my career. So it's pretty well known that I do like to break world records. So who knows? We'll see.
Well, people got to understand too. When you call out a record, I'm going after record. It's no knock on the guy that owns
it's a
that
number.
record. It's a number. You're going after the record. It's not the guy.
Yeah.
You know. But people like they try to make this like it's personal. It's not a personal.
It's not a
thing.
personal. It's just
Yeah.
me
You're going after
being
record.
me and me wanting to break world records.
Yeah.
Some guys like to take it personally, like
Yeah,
Eddie and
yeah, like him, yeah, for sure. But yeah, we'll see. You know, obviously, I would have to get the opportunity to do it. You know,
right.
Which I don't know when I will or if I will. But if I will get the opportunity, then hopefully I can train for it and go for it.
Okay, I mean, you're hearing it here first. He's going for the stone record, everybody. 286 kilos, right?
That's the record.
All right.
If my memory is correct, I think it's right.
How do you even make a stone 286 kilos? You
It
got
has to be custom made, and it has to be heavier than that.
Got a lot of lead in the center of it.
Able to break it, you know.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Hafthor, thank you so much for coming on, man. This has been
Thank you for
incredible.
having me, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you so
yeah.
much.
Good to see you, man. As always.
Absolutely.
You heard it here first. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is the Iron Game Tailgate Show. I'm your host, Zack Telander. Stick around, come back. We'll see you later.